Well, hi there, everyone. I'm Richard, and this is Cowboy Survival. We're going to do something kind of fun today, something I haven't done in a long time. We're going to take a look at what's inside my Get Home bag. So, if I'm away from home, I've got quite a distance to walk. I need a bag that's got everything in it I need for about 24 hours or a little longer, perhaps. If it's much longer than that, I would need a different bag than this. But I think this is a good 24-hour bag, and you're going to see why I think that. So I've got this bag. Let's say the scenario is I'm out somewhere. I'm right now at my friend's farm. I would need to get home from here. Something's happened. My truck won't run. Even if my truck runs, I know from the radio that all the roads are shut down because of something that's happened. Maybe it's been a storm, that's all the roads are blocked. Maybe it's been some kind of a terrorist attack that the police have blocked all the roads. But I need to get home, and I'm going to have to get there on foot. So what am I going to do? I'm going to get my bag out that I carry in my truck all the time. A couple of things about this bag I want to show you. So I've got this bag out of my truck. I carry it with me in the truck everywhere I go. And I've got this bag out of the truck. Right away, there's some things I want to take out of the bag, and I want to prepare the bag for my trip. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my back compartment, and there's two things I want to get out and put on my belt. I'm going to get my knife out, put it on my belt. I'm also going to get my multi-tool, and I'm going to put it on my belt. I don't usually carry these on my belt on a daily basis, but if I was going to have to do something all of a sudden to get home, I would take these out and put these on my belt. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so you'll notice this backpack has got two water bottles, one on either side. Now, why do I have that? Well, I want as much water as possible to come with me. This is a water bottle I got at Walmart. It is a Clean Canteen. You might be able to see the name on it right down there, Clean Canteen. It is a 40-ounce stainless steel single-walled water bottle, which means I could take this and I could put it in the fire and heat water in it. It's not going to explode. Now, 40 ounces is going to weigh a little over 2 pounds. So about 2.5 pounds. So I have to, well, not quite 2.5 pounds. Let me think. 2 pounds 8 ounces is what's going to be in this. This is full, so that's going to add weight to your backpack when you fill that up with water. Just remember that. When you weigh your backpack, if you weigh it with your water bottle empty, you got to take into account that when you fill that water bottle up, you're going to need to figure out for that extra poundage. Now, normally this would be empty. I would fill this up as soon as I get ready to travel. On the other side, I have got a 16. I think that's this is a. I'm not sure how big this one. I think this is the 16-ounce Grail water filter, titanium. I got this, and what I would do with this is I would take this before I leave. I'm going to take some water out of the truck. I'm going to fill this up so that this has water in it. So this is another pound of water, and I'll just drink the rest of it. So I got a little bit of hydration before I hit the road. I'm going to put this cap back on, and I'm going to put this back in. So why do I carry this? I could just put another big bottle of water in here. That would work too. I wouldn't have to take my Grail. I could just put water in here. But I think one reason I would want to do this is so that I got in case I have to stop and get some clean water, I could do that. So what I would do is I simply take this, put this back in here. Now I've got another. So I've got about 3 pounds of water on this backpack, in addition to everything that's in the backpack, and in addition to my first aid kit. So at this point, I think I'm ready to go. Okay, so I'm ready now. I've got my backpack on. I'm ready to start my journey home. I know the direction I'm headed in, and so let's just get started on the trip. And when we get down the trail a little ways, I'll stop and we'll pull this pack out and see everything that's in it. Okay, so I think I'm at a good stopping point. We'll stop here. I'm going to unpack this pack and show you everything that I carry in it. Okay, a couple of things before I actually get into opening the bag. Reminder, I have my med kit on the outside so it's easily accessible. My tourniquet is right inside the first pocket, so it's easily accessible as well. As I also told you earlier, I've got 2 water bottles here, one on each side. I also have a emergency bracelet right here on the handle. In addition, on the shoulder pad, I've got another knife blade, because you can never have enough knife blades. That gives me 4 total, if you count the one in my pocket, the one on my hip, the one here, and the blade that's with my multi-tool. I'm well bladed up. Man, I'm like some kind of a ninja. I've got so many blades with me. Okay, so let's start looking at what's in each of these pockets, and we'll go through them one at a time. So the first pocket up here is always my immediately accessible stuff. I'm going to have a pair of gloves in here. I'm going to have a flashlight in here. I also have a mini flashlight that I carry in my pocket. I'm going to have 2 things here. This is some mace or pepper spray that I have with me. I also always have on here a handcuff key. I don't know why I would need a handcuff key, but I've got one. I also carry in here a lighter, which is redundant because I've got a lighter inside my fire kit. And I've got a headlamp if I have to be traveling at night. So that's what's going to be in this first pocket right here. This is all the stuff I would need immediately to be able to get to. So I'm going to put it back in there so that we don't get too much. As a matter of fact, I'll just leave it out. That way we'll sort of see everything that's in this bag. Now, I'm not going to unpack this. That's a whole separate video. But in here, I've got my mini survival kit in my Altoid tin. I've got a separate video for that we did last week. I've also got here a mosquito net, which I probably ought to be wearing today because I'm going to be honest with you, the bugs and mosquitoes out here are absolutely awful. I've got in here this is a Life Straw water filter. It's not a purifier. Remember, my Grail is an actual water purifier. It works, it'll clean water much better than this will, but as an emergency basis, there I've got that. I've got a light stick in here if I need it. I've got a right in the rain pad, and I've got a pen in here somewhere, I think. Here is an emergency blanket in case I need it, in case I'm stranded somewhere at night or it's getting cold or I get wet. And I've also got a bandana in here. Now, I probably ought to replace this with like a bright orange bandana. That'd be really nice because I could use it as a signal panel. So I think I'm going to get me one of those signal panels that you can get, the Air Force has, that are bright orange and put in here. I've got a couple of ridge lines here. This is a full ridge line that I could use to hook up a shelter with. Here's a smaller ridge line, and here's just a hank of about 25 feet of paracord that I could use. You can never have too much cordage with you. Next, what I've got is in this next compartment of this bag, and this bag is really nice. It's got a lot of compartments in it. I'm going to have, first of all, this is a little possibles pouch. I got some things. I got some acetaminophen in here. I've got some ibuprofen in case I'm traveling with somebody that needs it. I've got some aqua tabs in here. I've got a toothbrush in here. I've got, what's this? This is soap. This is one of those towels that you can do. Here's some anti-itch cream with this. I wonder if I got any anti-bug cream in here. Boy, I hope I do. I don't know if I do have any of that in here or not. That'd be nice. I've got some chapstick, and I used to have a little thing of toothpaste in here. I'm not sure where that is. Don't seem to have any toothpaste with me. I need to have some of that. This is some of that stuff that I get a little razor. I don't know why I would put a razor in here, but I've got a little razor in here. I've also got a little sewing kit in here in case I need that. Though I've also got sewing material in my Altoids tin. What else do I have in this compartment? Well, in this compartment, I've got a couple of garbage bags. These are large garbage bags. They're not real thick, but they are very large garbage bags. I could use them to put over my pack to keep it dry. I could put wet stuff in this if I needed to pack it in my pack. And I also could use it for a possible shelter, though I've got better shelter. Here's another emergency blanket. Don't know why I have 2 of those. I've got some baggies with a little twist tie around it. And here is some wipes in case I have nature calls and I need some wet wipes to clean myself with. There we go with that. Now, before I get into the rest of this, let's sort of review what we've got. This is just a lot of little things that are packed loosely. The most important things here, I think, is my tourniquet, my gloves, my flashlight, my headlamp, my cordage that I've got, and then I've got some other things that I think would help me along the way. So let's look at some of the other things I have in here. This is my little camp stove. This is a lot like the little camp stove you can get at Walmart. That's the 4-in-1. This is one I just bought off of Amazon. The stove itself comes in a little case. This is almost exactly identical to the one you get at Amazon. It's called Extremis, but it's really nice. Comes in this nice little plastic holder here so you don't bend it up. Also in here, I've got a little spoon and a little fork that are foldable, so if I need to stop and eat, I've got some utensils to eat with. And they come with the little stove, so I'll put that back in there. So I've got that little stove I keep in there. I also have here an extra towel, because you never have too many towels. So in addition to my shamag, I have a little hand towel. And I've got, this is a little bag full of coffee and drinks and other things, some Peak H2O that I might want to put in. Here's some tea if I really need to stop and make me some tea. This is just things like, there's a little plastic knife and fork in here, salt and pepper and sugar and the little wipey, stuff like that you might need if you stop to eat something. Here's some tent pegs that I would use if I was going to set up a shelter. And then here's a bag of food. This is enough food to last me for 2 days. This is almost 2,000 calories of food. I've got ramen noodles in here. I've got the tuna in here. I've got some more tea and stuff in here. I got cereal in here. I've got nuts in here. I've got all kinds of stuff. Here's some Nutrigrain bars. All kinds of stuff in here that I might need to keep me nourished while I am getting home. Now, in the back part of this pack, and this pack is the Rebo 3-day pack or 35-liter pack. It's really helpful. I love this pack. So I've got some things here. This is my fire kit. In my fire kit, I've got everything I would need. I've got a ferro rod. I've got another lighter in here. I've got little fire tabs for starters. I've got some of my homemade fire starters that you all have seen before, the little discs that I soak in paraffin and lamp oil. So I've got those. Get that lid back on. I've got all kinds of fire stuff in here to get a fire going if I need to. I've got all kinds of little fire starters. I got some matches in here. So this is my fire kit. I could get a fire going in just about any conditions whatsoever using this fire kit. This is my electronics kit. It's got all my stuff. It's got a battery in it for my phone. It's in this baggie right here, a little battery bank. I've got some extra batteries for my nightlight. I've got a plug and a cable in case I should find somewhere where I could charge up my phone with an outlet. I've got that, and that's very possible. One thing I don't have in here, I'm surprised I don't have, is a wrench for opening up water spigots. That would be a really nice thing to have. I don't know why it's not in this bag. I've got it in other bags. Now, I've got a couple other items. This is just an emergency sleeping bag. In case I needed to sleep somewhere, I've got an emergency sleeping bag I could sleep in. I also have a poncho. This poncho is going to be very useful to me, not only if it rains, but I can also use it to make a shelter with. This is a Helicon Tex poncho, U.S. Combat kind of military grade. So the nice thing about this is this would mesh very well in the winter if I was also using my Helicon Tex Swagman roll. It would made up with that very well. This is just some extra clothes. I got some extra underwear, extra socks in here, and a toboggan in case I needed one. And then what I've got here is my cooking kit here. I think that's all that's in this bag. Yep. And this is just one of the well, what do you call it? The Stanley 2-cup cook set. First of all, I've got it in a Coughlin's mug here, if I can get it out. These things are really tight. So I've got a mug. Then inside this, I keep a can of fuel for that stove, and I've got a cup in case I need a drink, and I can cook, of course, in this. So that's everything I have in this. You notice I do not have any kind of formal shelter. I can use my tarp if I need to make a shelter. But if I'm on the go and trying to move quick, I'm going to stop, I'm going to rest quickly, and then I'm going to get up and get moving again. So that's what I've got inside my Get Home bag. And by the way, here are the tent pegs that go with the poncho in case I need to make a shelter. So there you go. That's what's in my Get Home bag. Well, that was an awful lot of fun today. We came out to my friend's farm, poked around in the woods a little bit, went through my Get Home bag and saw everything that is in that Get Home bag. Now, I will tell you, I did not go through the first aid kit. That's a separate video. My mini survival kit, I did that video last week where I went through the details of it, so I'll put the link to that down below in the description. But I thought it was interesting what I put in there. Some of you may have different things you would put in there. I'm sure everybody would do their Get Home Bag differently, and I'd love to hear those comments down in the comments below. I didn't put a saw in there. I didn't put a hatchet in there. I'm trying to keep weight down to a minimum. Most of the food I have in my food kit, I can eat without cooking it, though some of it, like the ramen noodles, I'd want to cook, I think, first. But I didn't have a sleep system other than an emergency sleeping bag, and I did not have a shelter system other than my poncho. But I think those would be sufficient to get me through one night and get me home in 24 hours. So if you like the video, click that like button down below. Give me the thumbs up. We'd love to have your comments. Lots of comments are kind of interesting, and I always respond to every comment. In addition, if you want to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so that when we issue new videos, you'll be able to get a notification that that video is out and ready for you to view. And you can follow along with the story as I continue to explore bushcraft and woodcraft and camping and survival and all those fun kinds of activities. Hey, look, hope you enjoyed the video. In the meantime, till I see you next week, I want you to stay strong, stay prepared, and have a blessed day.